Hello everyone, welcome back once again. So this is part 6 of our video series on making a box for our water piano. So in the last video we made 3 holes in the backside here for our switch to fit into, and in this video we're going to attach a little mounting bracket so that our top lid can screw into it. So the first thing we're going to do, let's make a 2D sketch, and we'll just do that on the front face here. Okay, so I need to rotate a little bit so you can see what's going on. What we're going to do is make a circle. And we're going to make a circle from a really specific point here. So you see how we select this line here. So you remember how it's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes when you snap to the wrong line? Well, there's a reason for that, because I want this circle to line up exactly with this line starting on this face. So that green dot right there, that's what I want. Now I want it to come over, and there we go. It snaps right to that line. If it's not snapping to it, you just need to hold your mouse over the end corner here for a little bit, and it'll be able to, there we go, green dot, snap to it. Great, so that's the first step. Let's finish that sketch, and let's extrude that part. Now we don't want it to come out, we want it to go in, but we don't want it to cut, we want to join. And we want it to go all the way over to the side here. So we could make 2 of these. We could make one and we could mirror it. But I'm going to show you a different way that we could do this, where we basically make this one part here. So let's go all the way to that face there. All right. Hit OK. So now we have the start of our mounting bracket. So we're going to make a 2D sketch on the back side now. And make sure you got a 2-point center rectangle, not the 2-point, the 2-point center. Okay. And the line that we want to select is the very top corner here, this line, and we want to get the middle of it. So you know it's the middle when that green dot shows up. Click that. Then we want it to hit the top side of that. So it should be 0.25 inches tall, exactly the diameter of the circle that we just made. If it's not that size, then you need to type in 0.25 inches. So I want this to be 1.8 wide. And if I just hit enter now, there we go. Because it knew, because I put my mouse over this line and it turned black, it knew that that's the line I wanted to snap to. So now let's finish that sketch and extrude this part. So with this one, we don't want to add on to it. We want to cut through. So there we go. And 0.25 happens to be the amount that we want to go through. And so let's just hit OK. There we go. So now we have a couple of round bits on either side here. So we want to drill a hole through these. So we're going to have a screw sticking through these round bits, and then we're going to have a top basically hinging on these round bits. So what I'm going to do is start a 2D sketch from the front again. Now I could make a point right in the middle here, so we don't really know where the middle is unless we put our mouse over this circle, and then it knows you want to be somewhere on this circle. There's only 2 places on a circle. It's either the edge or it's that middle point. Now, something I figured out from trial and error using these 3D printers is things turn out just a tiny little bit bigger than you intend them to. So basically what happens when the hot plastic is being laid down, the machine thinks it's laying it down in a perfectly straight line, and it does, but then before the plastic cools, it sags a little bit. So each layer of plastic that you print down, you end up with all these little bumpity bumps everywhere. And what those bumpity bumps mean is that your part ends up being just a little bit bigger than you intend it to be. So for something like, I don't know, the walls, does this really matter? No. But if you're trying to fit 2 parts together or fit something in something, so let's say fit a PCB into a slot here, and you make the slot exactly the thickness of your PCB, it's probably not going to fit. The distance that it's usually smaller is so small, it's 0.01 inches. That's about how much bigger everything ends up being made. So the actual width of our printed circuit board is about 0.06 inches. And remember, we made this slot 0.075 just to give it enough room that it can slide in and out. So if our lid is trying to fit on top here, and it's actually 0.01 inches too big, it's not actually going to fit all the way down. So I know this is a pain in the butt, but probably the best way to do this is to make a tiny little line and just put that dot up a little bit higher. So same thing, get the circle here, get that green dot right on the middle, go straight up, and it's just 0.01. Okay. Now make sure you're actually going up, because a line this small, it's easy to get it not going in the right direction. So now hit escape, get the point, put the point in, finish the sketch. Okay, now we zoom out. We're going to make a hole from that point. So what we want to do, you could go some distance through the hole or something like that. It could go just through this one part. If we go through all, then that hole is going to go through everything that we make. So we may as well do that, because, well, this is the end of our part basically. So hit OK, and there we go. So once again, if I could have mirrored this. There's lots of ways that we could have made this part. The hole, honestly, what I could do is make another circle. So we could do a 2D sketch. We could make a little circle to make the hole and then extrude that circle through. But I'm just trying to show you as many ways that we can do things as possible, because really the point of this is to get you to learn how to use this program. So the last little thing that we're going to do here is we're just going to add a little fillet to this edge right here. So I'm going to make that radius, yeah, about 0.8 would be a good one. Could make it a little bigger or smaller, it doesn't matter. It's just to give it room for when the lid is pivoting back and forth. And okay, one other little thing that we could do is just add a tiny little fillet to, well, let's hit apply, this line right here. And that just gives our mounting part here just a little bit more strength to attach it to everything. So is this crucial? No, probably not. Have you been sitting there for 5 minutes trying to find this little line? Well, you could probably forget about it. But it's a good little added bit of strength. And hit OK. All right, so that is it for this part of our 3D printed box. So in the next videos, we are going to make the top for it. And then once the top is made, we will learn to make an assembly by putting these two pieces together. So that concludes this video.